Gather around as I tell you a tale of betrayal, of love, of war, and of honor. Woeful mortals, like leaves they are, one moment bright with life, feeding off the bounty of the land, and the next perishing in weakness, as is written by Homer in the Iliad. Of all the creatures that breathe and crawl upon this earth, none live in greater agony than man. So said Zeus in the Iliad in Book 17. King Temetanni was the one that had led the nobles of Troy, or the so-called descendants, to resettle the sacred lands. Over time, the Macedonians and the Seleucids had looked in envy. Troy was now prosperous, secure and steady, but Temetanni's wife, Kia, had been an agent of the Seleucids. The Seleucids would use the neighboring Greek city-states to destroy Troy, just as Poseidon had done many eons ago to cause earthquakes within the city. But Temetanni didn't clearly trust his wife at all. He knew that Kia would do anything to betray him, and so he sent Kia over to Lydia, so that Kia would spend her time over there. But even the Lydians, they were untrustworthy as well. But now the days of heroes are long gone. No longer will the Trojans be the mere playthings of the gods, for the gods would welcome the Trojans as their own. Even if Temetanni received a vision from the gods, even if he received a vision from the Oracle of Delphi himself, he would ensure that no matter what happened, the Trojans would become the supreme power in the Hellenistic world. Soon, war with Pergamon would arrive. Temetanni knew that Pergamon would be the first of the city-states to declare war. But then there were the untrustworthy Bithynians, who were nothing more than Persians and Greeks living together in one harmonious state, which of course Temetanni knew that wasn't the case in reality. Against the wishes of his advisors, Temetanni decided to fight against Pergamon and completely remove it from the map. The drums of wars echoed as Ares watched in pleasure.
Missiles ready and waiting!
Do not shame the gods today! Fight!
Pergamon had been captured by a weak garrison that had already been resolved by auto-resolve. So Pergamon was literally finished, and they really had nothing much going for them at this point. Pergamon was going to be taken under the occupation of Trojan legitimacy? But of course, a new general had died, and so General Zidani, one of the great houses of Troy, decided to take control of the army of Pergamon. And of course, King Temetanni didn't like this, but Kia had grown affectionately towards Zidani. Zidani, meanwhile, decided to do a complete reform of the Trojan army. A complete reform in which Troy would become more powerful than ever. And he also set to begin rebuilding Pergamon as well. Temetanni had died during plague while on his campaign in Pergamon. In the meanwhile, Zidani was building up his fame, his fortune, his power. He wanted to make himself the most popular man in all of the Trojan lands. And meanwhile, Knossos had also declared war, so Zidani was keeping a sort of he was rebuilding the army in some sense. That's pretty much what he was doing. And the new king, King Kulma, had sent his wife, Kia, over to Lydia. But Kia had returned with a Lydian assassin, and therefore King Kulma died. And then King Paduti took the throne. And he was suspicious of Kia, he was suspicious of Subilka, he was suspicious of all the wives that had been married to the Trojan king. Intensely, most of the wives that had been sent to the Trojan kings were nothing more than spies and assassins by the Seleucids and the Macedonians. But Paduti would make sure that no longer would the Macedonians, or the Seleucids, or any Greeks would interfere in Trojan affairs ever again.